You saw it in the news, heckled during his official visit to the region of Alsace yesterday. Anger over his pension reforms showing no signs of abating. Our Press Reviewer Dipty's back with us to take us through it, Dipty.
After 3 months of widespread anger in France, Emmanuel Macron has said that he understands France's pain, or the French people's pain, and that he wants to move on. But during that visit to Alsace yesterday, he was heckled, booed, and jeered by people who were there. He was greeted with banging pots as well, according to the local paper in Alsace, the Dernière Nouvelle d'Alsace. That heckling is also here in Libération's coverage of his visit today. You see those images of the president in really directly confronting protesters who were present there, and this image here in Libération. The paper is particularly critical of Emmanuel Macron's comments in reaction to the reception in Alsace. He said, banging pots won't help France move forward, a reaction that the paper says is really in contrast to his attempts to appease the nation, and his political troubles continue. Le Figaro in its coverage today says Emmanuel Macron needs some kind of reset on his presidency here, suggesting that he might need a dose of, quote, political oxygen that could include, for instance, a new prime minister or a drastic change in his government's methods.
Let's take you to the US for this next story. Florida's state board has approved an expansion of sex education laws. Critics calling it the Don't Say Gay law.
Well, it's on the front of the Miami Herald today here. Florida further limits instruction on sexual orientation. The Board of Education in Florida has approved a ban on classroom teaching about sexual orientation and gender identity in all grades. This despite Governor Ron DeSantis saying previously it would only apply to third grade students or younger. The State House also passed a bill making it a felony to provide gender-affirming health care to transgender minors. There's a really interesting article in the Washington Post today, which has really gone to school in a way and gone and asked students what they think of these laws and how they think it could affect their education. Fear and sadness really describe it best. And in fact, this article from the Washington Post is peppered with handwritten notes from students giving us their reactions. So you have here, we're afraid. We have here the word woke has been weaponized. One student believes many fear that their education is being compromised, and they feel that new laws will lead to self-censorship and heightened caution. That's a fear that many teachers share. One teacher is quoted by the Washington Post as saying, this is really what epitomizes authoritarianism. Ron DeSantis, of course, eyeing a possible White House bid in elections next year. So this also comes with a lot of political strings to it.
Now, German magazine has sparked anger and criticism as well. This after it published an interview claiming to be the first with Formula One legend Michael Schumacher since his accident almost a decade ago.
Yeah, this story is being relayed by the British tabloid The Sun today. It is outrageous. German magazine Die Aktuell has sparked fan fury by publishing this interview with Michael Schumacher, claiming, as you said, it's his first interview since his terrible accident almost a decade ago. He and his family have been notoriously private about Schumacher's health over the past years, rarely giving out public interviews, which is why this is quite surprising. Die Aktuell, you have their cover page here. You know, you've got the picture of Schumacher, the headlines. The paper, the magazine later admitted the interview was fake and that Schumacher's quotes or supposed quotes were generated by artificial intelligence. Schumacher's family, not surprisingly, are now planning to sue the magazine, but it does raise a lot of questions, once again, about the role of artificial intelligence in disinformation. It comes on the back, for instance, Stuart, of a song by The Weeknd and Drake that went viral that turned out to be a fake AI-generated song that's also creating headaches for the music industry and the future of the industry with the onset of artificial intelligence.
Now, I'm very gone on the side. It's starting to go at the front. Researchers may have found a way, though, to reverse or halt grey hairs. I'm listening intently.
Well, The Guardian reports that researchers have discovered, first of all, why human hairs go grey as we age, and it is because we get older, but pointing to certain stem cells in our bodies that actually get blocked during the process of aging. And what happens is it prevents hair follicles from maintaining its color, which is why they die out and become gray. They hope that this discovery could help them figure out a way to keep these cells moving. And if they keep the cells moving, well, then it could potentially mean that we don't ever have to go gray. Admittedly, we're not quite there yet, but it is sort of the right step in the right direction, Stuart.
Good start, at least. Dipty's going to end on a story from Asia. Adorable picture, this, captured at a Chinese zoo.
Well, it's an embarrassment of pandas. That is the actual term that we use for a group of pandas. You can see them here at the zoo, at a zoo in China, the Chongqing Zoo. They were captured recently enjoying some apple snacks, but it's a way that they were eating, sitting around a table, sitting at chairs upright, seemingly chatting to one another and enjoying what looks like a fun snack. The four pandas socializing, chilling out in a very human way have sort of made them minor celebrities at the zoo, as you see in this video. It turns out that we humans love anything that remotely resembles us and our behaviors to it.
Very cute. They'll be joining in with Charles Pellegrin with some pot, shortly. You know, sitting around the table, having a... Anyway, leave it there. Dipty, thanks very much. Dipty with the papers on France 24. Next up out of the programme today, we report